Hey, how you guys doing? Okay, let's start into this. Let's do it to it. Let's pull it. We'll do a 10-minute this time. For some reason it does that. There we go. So how you guys doing tonight? Perfect. We're in a game. Let's see if we can't do some London system here. We'll see what our opponent does. Okay, so I'm thinking of playing bishop to f4 or knight to f3. I'm going to do bishop f4 because just in case he plays that line, I don't want, remember what we talked about? There's a line where the queen and potentially we'd have to go to queen c1. Okay, now I could play knight to f3. Grandmaster Simon Williams says that once this diagonal is cut off, you're able to play your knight to f3, but if it stays open and he plays c5, then you want to play knight bd2, which allows freeing of your rook, or maybe c3. There's always that. So okay, I'm gonna play knight bdc, knight bd2 to guard e4, and potentially I might even play bishop d. Yeah, I'm gonna play bishop d, and then if he plays knight, let me see, what could he play? Maybe c. Yeah, there we go. Let's go c3. He's kind of cramped at this moment, so if we can, we're gonna get Harry the H pawn's coming down the board. I'm gonna see what we can do here. Okay. See if I can't play queen c2. Let's get a knight in there, and then I'm gonna try to see if I can't get my knight takes, bishop takes. Okay, so he's playing that. Let's see if we can't get this munch g5. I missed that. That's my bad. Drat. Yeah, it's resignable. I missed that for a second. Let me see. Where did I go wrong here? Probably with that, I probably should have played in here. I'm looking at something like this. Then if takes, I take there. So probably, yeah, bishop takes. Okay, so that was the mistake there. Okay, trying to figure out. Okay, if he plays here, okay, bishop. Now I know what to play. Bishop e4. Interesting. Let's see, where did I go awry? Let me see here. Well, should I have played after knight takes? took with the pawn, played there. That's right. Okay, so let's give that another shot. I kind of see where I went awry. I over pressured a little too much, and that was the sitch. Let's see if we can't get a game here going. Alrighty. Same player redemption. I might play a c4 this time. And then oh, nice, okay. We're trying to see if I can't pick that off. Just gotta try it here, and then what I'll do is I'll pull my rook over there. Ooh, interesting. Hey. You gotta continue to keep pushing. Push, 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 push. I think I can grab this. Let's see. I'm gonna lose that pawn, that piece. Okay, dokie. Maybe I'll just pick this pawn up here, because I'm gonna lose a piece anyways. Yeah. I'll try him again. Why not? Yeah. Yeah, I do it for ministry purposes, because I'm trying to, you know, talk to people about the Lord on there. So, and also, you know what? If you want to go to where the people are, that's the place. But my main love is chess. That's what I should say. That's my main love. I also, the reason I do it too is I have cousins as well, and they play on there, and so it's kind of like we get to communicate on there because they're like far away. So it's kind of like a family meeting thing as well. So it's like three things. You get to talk to people, you get to talk to family, and you meet people where they are. Let's see. Oops, my turn. My bad. Thought it was his turn. I didn't see this up here. Okay, let's see. Let's see, I'll just play bishop there for right now. Trying to get my bishop outside the pawn chain. Okay. Let's see here. I'll just take right now. I'm just trying to get the pawn structure changed a little bit. Maybe I can hammer home there, bring a rook over. Trying to see if he might try pushing to h5. Well, then I could actually play knight to e7 and into e5. Then maybe you could pick up. Oh, okay. Wowzers. Yikes, that bishop's almost trapped there. Not good. Not good at all. I'll just play back here. If he plays there, I'll retreat my bishop back. Sometimes you just gotta admit that your play didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, and then you just reroute in. If he plays here, I can win a piece. Oh, so he's going for that. Going for that. Okay. Let me see here. Let's just push. Let's try to break. Oh, black here. Nice. Okay. Kaboom. Oh shoot, that was a bad move. Well, actually not really. If he takes here, I can take there, so it does work out in the end. Ooh, that was a close one. Whoa, I won. Wow. Okay. We'll get on to our studies now, bros. My guys. We can do this, okay, guys? Let's see here. We're into the irregular opening for the London system. I can't wait. We're almost ready to start the French, so defense. So we'll be getting into that too. I'll have this line here, all the London set up from Play the London system. You guys can go over, and then we'll start into the French. That'll be fun. We'll learn. It's from National Master John Watson. Let's see, 4. Boom. Oops, not 43. That's funny. 43. That'd be a lot of lessons for sure. There's probably a lot of lessons for irregular openings anyways. So d4, knight f6. Of course, d5 is kind of an... Oh, whoops, not d5. Sorry, knight here. d5. Remember how we're doing our openings? And then at this point we go bishop f4, but you got to be careful. Remember the line that we talked about? c5, c3, and knight c6, which is an interesting move setup again. Excuse me. What you have to do is remember that if he plays, remember b, remember this, b3, knight c6, here, there, and bishop, and then you're in deep waters here. You'd have to go back to bishop to c1. Remember that? We do not want that to happen, so, and he doesn't want that to happen either. So at this point, remember what we do? We grab the pawn, so there's no more chance of... Actually, I could say an exclamation mark. Sorry about that, guys. I thought it was an interesting move. This gets right here. Says to white, you can, or black, you can play this. You can't play this now, because we've taken. The only move you can play is a5, and that's not really the best move in my opinion. Yeah, it's just in time. You don't want to go this, remember, because we talked about lots of self to this, and then this, and hello, you're in trouble again. So there's also another sub line. Let me see here. AB6. Now we transpose. You could, not that. If you went here, sorry about that, guys. I want to make sure that I have this right. C4. On move 4. Hold on, let me see. Oh, okay, we'll deal with. He did e6, so hold on. Gotta show you what would happen if he played knight c6. So we had knight c6, and then. Oh, I gotcha. Here we go. This is it. I knew we were close. Knight c6, and then c3. This is actually also played in a course with Grandmaster Simon Williams, the London system, bishop d4. Yeah, the idea is b5. He really prefers Harry the h-pawn. Because you've got to be careful though, unless your opponent castles on the king side, Harry the h-pawn just becomes a weakness. So you have to make sure that he's castled before you do that. Or if you're really ahead of development and you need an anchor point for a knight, Harry the h-pawn's always there. He's your hero. So e6, then b4, because now we've cemented our structure, and knight to e3, e4. So b4, knight e4. And there's a potential a5 that could be played here if rather than the knight a5 is a playable move here. And now if knight d2, which is actually a mistake, you don't want to do that. It's a little too greedy, because after takes here, queen takes, knight b takes, and then c takes, and then you have g4, and now in comes the queen. You don't want that. G4 is an exclam mark. It's all-purpose move for black. You don't want to give your opponent an all-purpose move. So bishop to G3. You want to hold firm in this line. If you're going to kind of go for greed a little bit, you have to be able to hold. So bishop f6. It holds that pawn there. Knight d2, because there's no other knight there. H5 exclam. He's now going Harry. He wants to go Harry h4, which then gives up the protection of this pawn here. And h4. It's pretty much forced. I know you're probably thinking, can't you play here? Yeah, but if you play there, he has rook takes, bishop takes, and queen takes, and you are still in a pickle. Yes, you traded a 2 pieces for a rook, but you still have a soft f7 pawn. So you really don't want to go down that road. You want to stay right there. And then now, oops, after there, h4. Now this right here is an interesting move as well. We're threatening rook takes g5 with the idea of mate on f2. Not g5, rook takes g3, sorry, and mate on f2 with the queen and knight. So there is a potential. Where does that leave off? So 10. I gotta make sure I do this. And if queen d4, bishop e7, just developing, knight c3, e5, exclam, because you're wanting to open up the center a little bit before you castle. E takes, knight takes, queen takes, and castle gives black a huge basically attack. He has the 2 bishops. He also has a pretty massive open file that he's going to be dominating on. So you gotta remember that. And then let me see here. Oops, I almost forgot. The line does continue on. My bad. I didn't see it continued on to the other spot. That's not fun. So e3 to let this bishop out. Did I miss something here? Hold on. Not e3 there, that doesn't make sense. Well, let me get this. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. E3. This is the E3 line that I'm talking about. I knew I had a okay, then knight takes there. Kaboom. And that gets an exclam. I said I do a kaboom because this is a huge attack. Because if you take, there's a pin, then this bishop will drop as well. Yeah, not fun at all. So d4, let me see here, d4 exclam. Now this move does have some applicability here. This is his favorite. He says favorite seventh move in the game. He loves when players do the knight move and then he's able to go knight to d4. He says that's the stellar move because it's like they think they can get c3, but in reality they can't because the knight's guarding it. And if the knight takes on d4, you reconnect the pawn structure, and now you're up a whole pawn and a perfect pawn structure. What more can you ask for in chess? Nothing, in my opinion. That'd be the ultimate if this knight took here and then you took back. That's so beautiful. White would have a pretty powerful advantage there. So he went queen to f6. Bishop e2, and this holds f2. Also protects the knight, so that if knight takes, pawn would take. Bishop protects this point here and this pawn there. So it's doing double job, double trouble, right? Okay, knight bishop c7. Andrew Martin, but Grandmaster Sam Williams says he loves when people play this earlier in the game, because if I know, like I said in prior ones, if they did and they castled, he says he'd probably have a 2900 level rating. He says, so that's the big joke. So e5, which is actually a mistake here, because you're thinking you want to remove the knight. b5. Remember, you have a weakness on c7, so you got to remember, black can't just go as they say, dilly-dallying, attacking things. He also has a weakness on c7 too. So remember, don't react. You don't have to retreat. Sometimes you have to guard, but sometimes you need to go for an attack. Like this move does a guarding and an attack because there's 2 points it's attacking: c7 and d6. Okay, and now we have to retreat the queen. Black had to actually retreat all the way back, guys. So that's not fun then. Kabang! And now if that's an exclamation mark, you pick up another whole pawn. So if he was to take here, this actually, the line stops here. If he was to take here, all you do is check there. When the king moved, you grab it. Now you're up 2 pawns. So the queen can't grab that. Just remember, keep all these ideas in your back pocket. Yeah, it's a huge. It's pretty massive. Yeah, White's this move, he says, is like opening the cage on an unhappy beast, and or a monster, and it's like, what are you doing? Are you kidding me? Taken from Paul Begley. Are you serious? You're opening that up to the world? This is like insane of a move, but we love it. It's berserker move, right? This is still crazy though. So you gotta have true berserkers understand that focus in the proper areas are where that's why they were most feared, is they focused in an area and they didn't give up until the last man, and that's what scared the Roman army basically from expanding any further up, because those guys were crazy, but not crazy because they were fighting for something. g3, knight takes g3, and then bishop f2, which now we're going to pick up a pawn. He takes here, and bishop has to take basically. And let's see here. Wait, my bad. Sorry about that, guys. That's not the move. This is the move that they're talking about. So that when takes, knight e2 comes crashing down. Now you're attacking here. a4 takes, and you're in check. King d2. Knight c5. Now see, white's feeling the pressure. Somewhere along the line though, black's gonna have to blunder. Yeah, like they did talk about, if you took right here, this is actually a line that he was talking about here. Takes, queen takes check, king d2, and then potentially, but you have to remember your knight's trapped at that point, so you have to be able to get it out. So check there. He says that this is like the angry. He says like angry monsters. You remember on Frankenstein? He says this is like all the people are really upset, and these are like the knights, and they're like, this should not be here. It needs to be. It needs to go bye bye. And so that's what these knights are doing. They're honing on the queen, taking scope. I think that's funny. Some of his stuff's hilarious. There we go. He's trying to hold everything together, which I don't know if he's going to be able to. There's a lot of attack flowing down the thing. And black, with only a bishop knight for a queen, counts on basically his attack and all his composition. Having white winning easy after he's able to. If white can hold this position here, white is going to easily convert it. But if black can get some attack flowing, which I don't know if he has enough to actually do that at this moment. I think he traded too much material down. So I think he's in deep trouble. That's just my opinion. Now that's a good move, a5. Because the queen that doesn't really have any in route, X route, because this knight blocks it. That was actually a good spot by, in my opinion, black. a5 gets an exclam. This takes is an interesting move because you're leaving your king to the world of an attack. Not a very wise decision. And black castles, and now I believe black does have enough material to cause white some grief now, a mega amount of grief. With this type of an attack happening, not a good day for this. Actually could happen here. Let me see. If knight takes here, castles, and queen b3, and then e5. And now we're trying to break down whatever structure that's holding white together is almost about to collapse. It's like you have a lot of walls, a lot of towers, but you have these soldiers that are constantly blitzing and blitzing and blitzing, and they're willing to sacrifice themselves for the cause. So remember, don't ever forget that these soldiers on the board are your men, and don't take their sacrifice forgotten. Make sure it's worth it when you do sacrifice pieces. HG1, let me see. Knight C. Oops, nope, 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 my bad there. Sorry, guys. Sorry, wrong one. That actually stopped there. Got a little too far on that one. Went to the wrong one. So that's why the king. Otherwise, he could have taken. Let's see here. C2, rook F, B1. So now all these pieces are like just attacking. It's like, whoa. Now White's starting to feel the heat. But if White can convert this, if he could actually hold, if White can hold, he wins. So White he's basically praying and hoping that Black's attack fizzles out, and then he can convert his advantage. But Black's going to keep turning up the heat. The furnace is going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. He's not going to he can't let his initiative sizzle out. He's got to keep pushing. Otherwise, if he does, like what we talked about, White will convert his advantage, and Black will be very sorry, and he'll have to start a new game and surrender the kingdom. Okay, E4. Rook at B5. A to B1 to hold the knight. And then G6. King D3. An interesting move here. Excuse me. White's position begins to look a lot like basically a Picasso painting. You know how it's kind of weird. There's like that watch that kind of is like oozing over on one side, and everything looks kind of funky. Rather than the guy having a round face, he's got square stuff and weird looking thing. White's position here is starting to look very similar to that type of setup. Oh, it is? Okay. Well, then I must be having the wrong painting. Yeah, there. Painter then. But in my mind, it looks very similar to that type. This is just all wrong. So wrong of a setup for White. But it's somehow he's holding, I gotta say. It's impressive in my opinion that he's still holding fast with all this heat of the artillery just hammering down here, bishop, boom, pawns coming. It's like, when is it gonna stop, right? It's like, it's not going to, my friend. You're going to have to endure, basically. So he's pushing, he's trying to get some pressure maybe on this rook so the rook can't come over. Maybe he can even get a passer. You never know. White's throwing all of their oil, coal, tanks, artillery, everything. They're trying their darndest to hold. King G7. Now there's no back rank threats or anything. This king's safe. And now everything can start flowing in. All the pieces are operation head. Let's see here. Knight D2 was a mistake. They're saying that potentially the best move here would have actually been to, I know it sounds crazy, King E2, and just saying, troops, I would love to help you at this moment, but remember, the king's what matters. So to just keep running the king and getting it to safety is the whole purpose. Is to save the king. If we can do that, we hold. So it's important that we hold. But he didn't do that, so he played a mistake / inaccurate move, and black just went a5 exclam and said, "This is chess. You know what? You have to realize that it's you're going to lose if you don't be more aggressive." Basically, that's what it is. So b3, and then rook takes there, and this is like horrible for white. Now black's broken through, and oh wow, well, black blundered. This move right here is a mega time mistake. You don't want to do that. No, no, go for the takedown. You know, you have it. You have it. Take it. Take the pawn. You know, don't get greedy on us. That's what they're saying. Its best move here is actually takes. Is actually, and then g2. Taking actually gets an exclam mark, not a mistake mark. And then bishop to e6. Oh, sorry, g2, and bishop e6 with pushing the pawn and breaking the center open with the next rook coming in. He let the pedal off of the gas throttle, and now he's going to be in a world of hurt. Black, if black can convert this, which black will be, white will be able to convert this, not black. White loses if he takes here. That's what they're saying. Or, nope, no, I'm sorry, wrong takes. I mean here, he gets trampled on that. That's actually, this is a mistake right back at him. So check, b4, b5, check, a3, a takes check, queen a4, pawn takes check, a takes, king takes, e3, let me see, knight e4, rook b1, rook takes, and then h4, and this pawn's going to end up becoming a queen. This move gets an exclam, so a little too much greed blocking that. And then f5, and now we're gonna push right on through a protected passer. 92, and then pawn takes, and no more passed pawn for black. So taking with the pawn was actually a forced move. Knight takes, queen takes, e6, king e3 to get out of this little trick of picking up the queen. Bishop e7 to pick up a pawn with this type of a pin and fork attack or skewer. Rook g2. So now if he tries to take, rook a takes, so we take that pawn. Rook b2, bishop takes, check. So he's trying to get as much material for the queen as he can. And then a3 with a potential bishop to d there. c2, rook 6 to b4. So boy, he's trying everything, but that one tempo really caused a stitch for him. f5, which is a very interesting move. I kind of like that move. Black begins to basically expose the king a little bit, so you got to be very careful here. Rook b8 or queen b8, and now potentially you can have an attack. You don't want to do this move though. Don't do this. Very dubious. This only helps. Oops, sorry guys. This only helps black. F takes. Which takes. Rook B2. Then A7. Now he holds. Doesn't look too healthy for White's king, who is basically under siege. So White's king's under siege here. But by playing Rook D8, this is an exclam mark, because now he's getting ready for attack. So Rook takes E, G to D1, E3 check, G2. He's trying to run F4, Queen C7, check. King H6. This was a blunder here. A mistake. Not really a blunder, but it's funny that running this way is actually the proper move here. And you just keep running straight up, which that gets you a exclam. And Rook D2, D3. And now leads to a total basically guessing game who could be potentially winning here and who could be losing. There's enough counterplay for both sides. But sadly he played H, and then we took the pawn, the queen, Rook G3, which is again a mistake. He's getting a little too overzealous on his move. They're staying check there. King H. And then Rook to A5. And Black's now holding on by his teeth to falling off into the canyon. So this just ended it sooner. King H1. And you would think that's a suicide move, but actually no, it's not. This is a very precise. Both bishops are on pre. This bishop here and this bishop here. So he can't play here because it'll be taken. So he's going to have to basically play bishop there. Rook H, H3. Rook H2, D3. It's another mistaken accurate move. So it's like back to back problems are starting to arise. They're saying here potentially best would actually be A takes C, Rook takes C, Rook takes C, and Queen takes the bishop, and the White's totally winning here. So place there. We grab the bishop. Bishop D5. And King to G1. And White basically resigned. Black resigned here, because there's really no hope. His mistake was when he let the throttle off by taking that one pawn. I'll show you where he blundered here. This was his downfall. Where is that? Right here. This, no, let me see. Yeah, when White played this mistake, Black played it right back. He should have just taken this pawn here and then gobbled this pawn and then went for a huge attack. But he didn't do that, and it costed him the game. This is what he's saying. If you go for this line up here, right here, and then hang on for, basically it says hang on for dear life. He says that's I like how he says it. He goes, if you're gonna go for that, you're going all in, basically berserking style. you better hang on, get ready. You're going for a roller coaster ride, but if you can hold at the very end, you get off the ride and you also have enjoyed the ride alongside. But if you try to undo that bar that they put down in Disneyland and try to jump off, you're going to be in a big problem. So never do that. Enjoy the ride. You know what I mean? Learn how this position is set up. Learn how this all works. And therefore, when they play this move and you take, it's going to be a walk in the park, Basinski. Okay, let's do some puzzles now. If you guys got any ideas on these puzzles, let's do it to it. Yummy tea. I like peach tea. That's good stuff. Okay. What to do? I'm thinking that potentially, no. I was thinking that maybe bishop takes. This was not my idea. Bishop takes b7, and then that we have a discovery attack later on. See, if bishop takes e7, excuse me, knight takes, and then we play queen to a6. So we'll underline this. Knight takes b7, and then queen to a6. And I don't know if you can actually stop mate. What do you guys think about that? Bishop b7, knight takes b7, and then queen to a8. That the knight's pinned at that point, and he can't move, so we're gonna pick up the knight back again. But maybe he could take with the pawn with the queen. Maybe I'm missing something here. We could potentially have knight to c4. Knight c4 might be an idea as well. What do you guys think? Leaving it open to you guys. I'll let you guys think about that. We'll play one more game here and see how we do. A 10-minute one. Gotta turn on the heat. Gotta go big or go home. That's what I figure. I'm probably after, whenever he plays, I might play queen to h3. And then I could potentially take there. Maybe. Maybe. Kaboom. Alright. So what do you guys think? I need you guys to comment. Come on, we could do this. We're a team. No worries, no fear. Everything's good. I'll leave it with you guys for just a second. I'll be right back, okay? So I gotta check something out and make sure the stream's doing good. Perfect. Okay. Let's give it a go. We'll try one more of these because we gotta get rebooted again on our stuff. Come on. Let's go into it. Kaboom! Try one more, and then we'll get into our studies. Now we're winning. It's game over now. Do 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 do. I think it might be a draw here. Let's take a quick look. check what do we got here. Let's see. Trying to see if queen takes h7 check does anything. Queen takes h7 check, which would be this move here. If king f8, there is knight to f5 check. Excuse me. Knight f5 checks an interesting line as well. That picks up a bishop. So knight f5 check. Here we'll fork the king and the bishop. So if king goes there, so knight f5 check. If king f6, what do we do after king f6? King f6. Knight takes bishop. try to think. Knight f6, knight f5, check, king f6, knight takes, d6. If he plays rook g1, check, rotates g1, queen takes g1, check, knight c5. Huh. Try another one. So I do one of these. For some reason my brain's like not doing too well with these puzzles. Come on. Hunker down. Come on. Focus. Focus, focus. Let's see, what do we got here? What do we got? What do we got? Okay. Knight g4. Attacks the queen. Okay, we have queen b6 check if king moves. So we have queen b6. Queen b6, if king h1, knight g, and that should almost bring us to a potential smother mate setup. Because if he tries to block that with queen there, we grab it, so he can't block it. If he blocks it with the rook, then we also grab it. Queen takes. So here, if he blocks, then we play d5 and we fork his knight and his rook. If he goes rook, if we play here, he goes rook, we play knight d4 again, and then we pick up a piece. Or maybe we just play knight. Maybe knight. Thinking about if we play here, and then he brings his rook here. We have knight to g, and that forks queen and the knight. Yeah. So if we take here, takes there, we take there, we're up at a piece. Okay, we'll stop there. We got it. We got one. We'll call it good there. We'll play one more live, and then we'll log for the night. Wow, we're on. We did it. I don't know what happened. I had the right idea, but for some reason I didn't trust my instinct. That's sometimes irritating. Really irritating. Alright, here we go. We got some big competition. We'll end on a positive here. So this brought my king up. I'll do one more and then I gotta log. Okay, we'll leave it there. That was a good thing. Do you guys have any questions on this puzzle? You guys have any questions? I'll give you 1 minute to see if you have any questions on this here. Why this is the correct idea. Give you 1 minute starting now. Alright, I'll take that as a note. Okay. Well, guys, I gotta tell you, what we have to do is continue to keep pushing forward. Remember, there are no limits, there are plateaus. So don't stay on the plateau. You gotta keep moving forward. Sometimes it's like you gotta hammer through that. You have to hammer through it. You know, there's a mountain. You have to take like a chisel sometimes and hit it, like John Henry did, to defeat that steam plow. You know what? And they have the song, he was born with a hammer in his hand. He was born with a hammer in his hand. And so when he defeated it, he also died with the hammer in his hand too. That's the story. So he was, you know, that's the cool thing. And you know what? We have to always remember to, we have to be dedicated so much like that. That the reason he did it was so that the people who worked on the railroads would get paid. You know, that we have to be dedicated to chess and the chess community like that. That's how we need to be also dedicated to the Lord. That's the main thing in life, guys. Is, are you dedicated? Or are you not dedicated? You must go beyond the plateau that you're at right now and climb to higher levels, even greater things. You know, that's like in Stonewall Jackson's speech on Gods and Generals. He says to his brigade that they won 3 big battles. He says, but I know that there's more than you guys. You guys will even do greater things. I know you guys will do greater things. So just keep pushing forward. Don't only go back to learn. That's the only way to do it. So you have to remember that's how we we learn, is by mistakes. And if you're afraid to make a mistake, you're afraid to learn. It's kind of the funniest thing. I know that sounds awkward, but mistakes are what makes us better. And the more you make, the better you get, I guess. It's kind of one of those things. Every day is not a diamond. Remember that. There's coal days and there's diamond days, but in the end, coal becomes a diamond under great pressure and perseverance. And we have to remember that, you know what, great minds had to first discover things before we know about the law of thermodynamics, gravity, everything like that. And we have to know what our goal is and then apply it. We have to be willing to pursue our goal and then get up and do it. That's the whole thing. We need to, I like on Robots, the cartoon thing, it says this. It was actually the movie. That see a need, fill a need. That was the coolest part in the whole entire thing. And so what we need to do is, when you see a need, fill a need. And that's the hardest thing sometimes to do, is to put aside ourselves and keep moving forward. But I know you guys can do it. Also on the East Coast, guys, please keep the East Coast of the United States in your thoughts and prayers. There's great flooding going on, and families are losing a lot of their houses and everything. And that's the whole thing that we gotta. It's not about things; it's about family. Just pray that they're protected. Okay? Thank you. I know these were a lot of heavy thoughts, and I want to end with one thing. We're the ones that hang up our coat, hang up our hats, and sit down, and we do the problems that most will not. Even though sometimes they're difficult, we keep doing it till we get it. Okay, guys, I'll leave you with that. As Wesley So says, through the Lord Jesus, and as I say, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time on Chest Cruncher TV. Remember, have a blessed morning, afternoon, and evening, and keep pushing forward. You guys are doing great. 2 thumbs up. Hurrah. Now, keep going. Go, Chest Cruncher. Be blessed, guys. Lord willing, I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll keep pushing forward. We're almost done with Play the London System, and then we go to the French. Yes. Okay, bye-bye, guys. Be blessed. Bye-bye.